What are the other roads?
Bonbons, anyone?
The bonbon?
March the 3rd. Final day. Matinee performance. Let's see how people prepare.
Ooh, too much popcorn.
Bright lights. Oh, yes.
Yeah, no, next year. Oh, shit. Oh, no, a camera!
Oh, some chips and dip.
Let's see, this is...
Actors hate cameras.
I hate them.
Oh, shit, see, I dropped my cigarette. Get away from here with that.
This is Michael Gould's warm-up.
Equity alert, equity alert.
This is his vocal warm-up. There you go. That's good.
Jesus Christ, what happened to your finger? Working.
It's an intense scene between...
Catch me later, I'll show you my schwanz. He's not kidding about that. I've seen it. I know. That's right. Who's this? Your mom. Oh, all right, then she won't let us eat.
The game. Isn't that sweet? The murderers really love each other.
Oh, really?
No, it was whenever I don't know who left, basically. When we were cleaning up. It was, I mean, the thing was, it was like an hour and a half getting home.
Oh.
I don't know if it was Scott, but he left to film everybody in the city.
Practically chopped everybody out, didn't we?
So, I don't know, it was probably like 3 when we left, or 2:30.
About 2:30.
About 2:30 when we left, so I don't know, like 4.
Backstage.
That red makes a good shot.
Yeah. Hard working at the present. Scott, ladies and gentlemen, he's watching us.
Zoo, zo, 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 za, za, z, za, z, 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 zai, zao, zoi, zu, zia, zao, zer. Su, so, so, so. Is that yours?
Oh, yeah. Christmas
Toys?
present.
Christmas present?
Oh, yeah.
From whom?
From Stephanie.
Very nice. Very nice. To, 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 to. Want me to take pictures of you while you're performing?
Sure.
show me what to do.
Okay.
I'll stick it out here. There's one moment that you look great. You should really take the light a little bit more. I've been meaning to tell you. When they throw you up and your head goes back, you're in all these orange lights.
Yeah.
But you put your head forward right away.
I know.
Just stay back there a minute more. It looks great.
Cool. I will. It's a little hard just because in terms of a balance thing.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I always think you're gonna hit your head though.
I know.
I get so nervous the first week, but now I know you won't because I guess you really
of course, I got to
the weight, your height, and all of that.
knock on wood now, but
Find
some wood in this place. Ridiculous. Wood door. Okay.
Say, sit, see, side, sow, soy, sew, sire, sour, sare. Soup,
Syrup.
soap, syrup. Syrup. I love that word. Syrup. A word with you. It's mentioned once in Macbeth. That was used once. Syrup. A word with you. I have a message. Yeah.
In the quick shot of the hordes of people clamoring to see which would be third. Whoa.
Hi. It's
Hi.
a little dark in this hallway for filming, isn't it?
This thing picks up pretty well, although
Really?
the little bright window is going to screw with the contrast.
Yeah.
Let's see what we can do here. Okay, we're going to take a quick peek at the people outside. Look, there they are. There's another big film. Oh my god. See, it's crazy. They'll actually kill to get a ticket to the show. I've seen it. You've seen it too.
Yeah.
Sorry, I hate that extreme close-up. It's
Guarding a man in the restaurant. Making sure he's coming back in.
really all right. I'm gonna surprise him from this
He's gonna try
side.
to sneak in.
I'll get it documented. Ooh.
Hi, you got your today too?
Yes, I am.
Where'd you put your stuff?
I put it back behind the stage, back there, on the left-hand side.
Bathroom. All right, it's now time for me to warm up the instrument. Let's see who's whistling down the hall. He's everywhere, this man. Oh, chair. Right there. Let's see if it's there.
Don't you worry about it.
Quick shot of the
punishment was.
I think it's for your door.
Damn, there's nobody undressing at this point.
Oh, that's great.
Hey, hi, Stella. Oh my gosh, it's Michelle Carla. Hi.
Yeah, I'm looking for Michelle Matlock. I'm ushering today. She
Yeah,
here?
just go check in with James. He's at the front. Guy with the goatee.
Okay, but where should I put my stuff?
You can leave it in around here.
Okay, that's cool.
Leave it in Actually, you know what? Actually, we're putting it so it's easier.
No, Ian.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead, see what I can.
Hey, Raj.
When you're
But don't-
cautious or you're waiting, seeing tricky things.
Yeah, this is it. We're gonna have to take another break.
Tricky day. Three. A drunk line slaughter you straight. You'll see it, it'll say record. And then when you're finished recording, then you press it again. You don't have to hold it down. Just, it's running out of juice, so I'll turn up the batteries now.
Now,
So you're stuck.
how do I, it's still recording. How do I stop it?
Save it for that.
We paced along upon the quay. Women hatches methought had lost their stone. And falling struck me that thought to stay him overboard into the tumbling billows of the main. Oh Lord! Methought what pain it was to drown. What dreadful noise of waters in my ears. What sights of ugly death within my eyes. Methought I saw 1,000 fearful 10,000 men and fishes gnawed upon. Riches of gold. Pearl. Inestimable stones, unvalued jewels, all scattered about the sea. Some lay in dead men's skulls, and in the holes where eyes did once inhabit, there were crept, as twere in scorn of eyes, reflecting gems that wooed the slimy bottom of the deep, and mocked the dead bones that lay scattered by. Had I such leisure and time then to gaze upon the secrets of the deep, methought I had. And often did I strive to yield the ghost, but still the envious flood stopped in my soul and would not let it forth to find the empty, vast, and wandering air, but smothered it within my panting bones, burst and belched into the sea. Then began the tempest in my soul. I passed, thought, the melancholy flood of that sour fairy in which poets write about the kingdom of perpetual night. First that there did reap my stranger souls, my brave father-in-law, renowned Warwick, who spake aloud, "What scourge for perjury can this dark monarchy afford false Clarence?" So he vanished. Then came wandering by, a shadow, like an angel, with bright hair, dappled blood. And he shrieked out loud, "Clarence is come! False, fleeting, perjured Clarence, that stab me the field by Tewkesbury! Seize on him, furies! Take him unto torment!" With that, methought a legion of foul fiends environed me, and howled in my ears such hideous cries, that with the very noise they do menace me.
Why so? Now have I done a good day's work. Years continue this united dream. I every day expect messages from my redeemer to redeem me again, and more in peace my soul shall depart from heaven since I have made my prayer.
My nephews.
When scarce the blood was well washed from his hands, which issued from my other angel husband, and that dear saint which then I weeping followed. Oh, when I say I looked on Richard's face, this was my wish. Be thou, quoth I, accursed for making me so young, so old a widow, and when thou weddest, let sorrow haunt thy bed, and be thy wife, if any be so mad, more miserable by the life of thee, than thou hast made me by my dear Lord's death. No! If I can repeat this curse again, within so small a time my woman's heart grossly captive to his mighty word.
Hey, now, President Buckingham, my gracious sovereign, give me thy hand. Thus I, by thy advice and thy assistance, is King Richard's seed. But shall we wear these glories for the dead, or shall they last and we rejoice in them?
Still live they, and forever let them last.
Buckingham. Now I play the touch to see if that good goes indeed. Young Edward lives. Think thou that was king.
Say, our loving lord.
I say I would be king.
Why, so you are my twice renowned lord.
Am I king? 'Tis so, but Edward lives, true noble prince. Oh, for your consequence that Edward still should live. True noble prince. Cousin, thou hast not one to be so dull, so I complain. I wish the bastard was dead, and we have accepted his pulse. What sayest thou now? Speak suddenly, please.
Your grace may do your pleasure.
But my kindness freezes. If I like consent, they shall die.
Give me some pause, my lord, some breath before I utter these feelings. I will resolve your grace herein presently.
Courage in Buckingham will circumspect. The witty, deep revolving Buckingham no more shall be able to account for his so long as me untied and stop me now for breath. It is, sir. Good Catesby, come hither. Rumoured abroad that Anne, my queen, is very grievous. I will take order for the meeting. Look how that dreams, man. I say again, get out that Anne, my queen, is sick and like to die. About, for it stands me much upon to stop all those who rotate damage. I must be married to my brother's daughter, my kingdom stands on little glass. Murder her brothers, then marry her, and certainly have gained mine, insofar as blood that sin will pluck on sin. Therefore, pity dwells not in the sky. Radcliffe!
And your most obedient subject?
Art thou indeed?
Prove me, my gracious lord.
Darest thou resolve to kill a friend of mine?
Please you, but I'd rather kill two enemies.
Thou hast two deep enemies. My sweet sleep disturbed as a man would have you realize. Radcliffe, I mean those bastards in the tower.
Let me have open means to come to them, and soon I'll rid you from the fear of them.
Thou sing sweet music. Radcliffe, the word. Say it is done, and I will love thee with the first voice.
I will dispatch the trip.
My lord, I have considered in my mind the request sound.
Well,
My lord, I wish to claim the gift, or to by promise to which your honor is faithful. The oath of her for the crown and the new month of the procession. But such your grace, my judgment.
with Richmond, the king.
My lord, I will promise to the world. What is the law? Oh, use your grace of mind what you was promised.
Well, what's the clock?
Upon the stroke of 10.
Let it strike.
Why let it strike?
Because, and like a jack, thou keeps a stroke betwixt thy begging and my meditation. I am not in a giving vein today.
May it please you to resolve me in my suit?
Thou troubles me. I'm not in the vein.
And is it thus? Repays he my deep service with such contempt? Made I him a king for this? Or the pig of Hastings, and doth regret not while my fearful head is on.
most arch deed of piteous massacre that ever yet this land was guilty of!
Again! And Forrest, who I did suborn to do this piece of ruthless butchery, albeit they were fleshed villains, bloody dogs, melted with tenderness and mild compassion, wept like two children in a death-sad story. Oh, thus lay the gentle babes, thus girdling one another within their alabaster innocent arms. The lips were 4 red roses on a stalk, and in their summer beauty kissed each other.
A book of prayers on their pillow lay, which once almost changed my mind, but oh, the devil!
We smothered the most replenished, sweet work of nature, that from the prime creation ere she framed!
Since both are gone, conscience and remorse, they could not speak. So I left them both. Bear this tidings to the bloody king. I got them. Am I happy in my dues? If to have done the thing you gave in charge to get your happiness, be happy then, for it's done.
Come to me soon after supper. Meantime, think how I may do thee good and be inheritor of thy desire.
Farewell till then. I humbly take my leave.
The sons of Edward sleep in Abraham's bosom, and Anne, my queen, hath bid this world good night. Now, for I know that Breton Richmond aims at young Elizabeth, and by that knot looks proudly on the crown. To her I go, a jolly, thriving wooer.
My lord!
Good news or bad, thou comes in so bluntly.
The mayor has fled to Richmond, and Buckingham, backed by the hardy Welshman, is in the field, and still his power increaseth.
The mayor with Richmond troubles me more near than Buckingham and his rash-living strength. Come. I have learned that fearful commenting has led the servitor to dull delay. Delay leads impotent and snail-paced beggary. Then fiery expedition be my wing. Jove's Mercury and herald for a king. Go! Muster men! My counsel is my shield. We must be brief when traitors brave the field.
So many miseries have crazed my voice, that with my woe-wearied tongue is still and mute. Edward Plantagenet, why art thou dead? Wilt thou, O God, fly from such gentle lambs and throw them in the entrails of a wolf? Or didst thou sleep when such a deed was done? Dead life, blind sight, poor mortal living ghost, woe seen, world shame, graves due by life usurped, brief abstract and record of tedious days. Rest thy unrest on England's lawful earth, unlawfully made drunk with innocent blood. That thou wouldst as soon afford a grave as thou canst heal the melancholy sleep. Then would I hide my bones, not rest them here. Oh, if any cause to mourn but me.
If ancient sorrow be most reverend, give mine the benefit of signory, and let my griefs frown on the upper hand. If sorrow can admit society, tell o'er your woes again by viewing mine. I had an Edward till Richard killed him. I had a husband till Richard killed him. Thou hast an Edward till Richard killed him. Thou hast a Richard till Richard killed him.
I had a Richard too, and thou didst kill him. I had a Rutland too, and thou helpst to kill him.
Thou hadst a Clarence too, and a Richard killed him. From forth the kennel of thy womb hath crept a hellhound that doth hunt us all to death. That dog that had his teeth before his eyes to worry lambs and lap their gentle blood. That excellent grand tyrant of the earth that reigns in gold eyes of weeping souls. That foul defacer of God's handiwork, thy womb let loose to chase us to our graves. Oh, upright, just, and true disposing God, how do I thank thee that this carnal cur preys on the issue of his mother's body and makes her pew fellow with others' moan.
Oh, Harry's wife, triumph not in my woes. God witness with me, I have wept for thine.
I am hungry for revenge, that I may live and say, the dog is dead.
Oh, thou didst prophesy the time would come that I should wish for thee to help me curse that bottled spider, that foul bunchback toad.
I called thee then vain flourish of my fortune. I called thee then poor shadow-painted queen, the presentation of but what I was, and leave the burden of it all on thee. Where are thy two sons? Wherein dost thou joy? Who soothes and kneels and says, God save the Queen? Farewell, York's wife and queen of sad mischance. These English woes shall make me smile in France.
Oh, thou well-skilled in curses, stay a while and teach me how to curse mine enemies.
Forbear to sleep the nights and fast the days. Compare dead happiness with living woe. Think that thy babes were sweeter than they were, and he that slew them fouler than he is. Bettering thy loss makes the bad causer worse. Revolving these will teach thee how to curse.
My words are dull, oh quicken them with thine.
Thy woes will make them sharp, and pierce like mine.
Who intercepts me in my expedition?
Art thou my son?
Aye, I thank God, my father, and yourself.
Then patiently hear my impatience.
Madam, I have a touch of your condition and cannot brook the accident of reproof.
Oh, let me speak.
Do then, but I'll not hear.
I will be mild and gentle in my words.
And brief, good mother, for I am in haste.
I prithee, let me speak.
You speak too bitterly.
Hear me a word, for I shall never speak to thee again.
So?
Either thou wilt die by God's just ordinance, ere from this war thou turn a conqueror, or I, with grief and extreme rage, shall perish, and never more behold thy face again. Bloody thou art! Bloody will be thy end. Shame serves thy life, and will thy death attend. Far more cause, yet much less spirit to curse abides in me. I say amen to her.
Stay, madam. I would talk a word with you.
I have no more sons of the royal blood for thee to slaughter. As for my daughter, Richard, she shall be a praying nun, not a weeping queen, and therefore level not to hit her life.
You have a daughter called Elizabeth, virtuous and fair, royal and gracious.
And must she die for this? Oh, let her live, and I'll corrupt her manners, stain her beauty, slander myself as false to Edward's bed, throw over her the veil of infamy. So she may live unscarred of bleeding slaughter. I will confess she was not Edward's daughter.
But not her birth. She is a royal princess.
To save her life, I'll say she is not so.
Her life is safest only in her birth.
And only in that safety died her brothers.
Lo, at their birth good stars were opposites.
No, to their lives ill friends were contrary.
All unavoided is the doom of destiny.
True, when avoided grace makes destiny. My babes were destined to a fairer death if grace had blessed thee with a fairer life.
You speak as if I had slain my cousins.
Cousins, indeed, and by their uncle cozened, of comfort, kindred, kingdom, freedom, life, whose hands soever lanced their tender hearts, God they all away. No doubt the murderous notion, dull and blunt, when the husband of heart
Madam, so thrive I my dangerous success of bloody wars, as I extend more good to you and yours than ever you or yours by me were harmed. That's what I learned of you, as being one best acquainted with you.
And wilt thou learn of me?
That with all my heart.
Say to her, my men slew her brothers, a pair of bleeding hearts. They're on the way to your heaven. If this inducement will come, tell her about me, her uncle Clarence. Her uncle, and I, and for her sake, makes quick conveyance with her good aunt Anne.
Madam, you mock me. This is not the way to win your daughter.
There is no other way, unless thou couldst put on some other shape, and not be Richard that hath done all this.
Say I did all this for love of her.
Nay, then indeed she cannot choose to hate thee, having bought love with a bloody spoil.
Look, what is done cannot now be amended. Men shall deal unadvisedly sometimes, which after hours gives leisure to repent. If I did take the kingdom from your sons, to make amends, I'll give it to your daughter. If I have killed the issue of your womb, to quicken your increase, I'll beget mine issue of your blood upon your daughter. The loss you have is but a son being king, and by that loss your daughter is made queen. I cannot make you what amends I would. Therefore, accept such kindness as I can. Again shall you be mother to a king, and all the ruins of distressful time repaired with double riches of content. What? We have many goodly days to see. Those liquid drops of tears that you have shed shall come again, transformed to orient pearl, advantaging their loan with interest of 10 times double gain of happiness. Go, my mother, to thy daughter go. Make bold her bashful years with your experience. Prepare her ears to hear the womb's tale. Put in her tender heart the aspiring flame of golden sovereignty. Acquaint the princess with the sweet and silent hours of marriage joys. And when this arm of mine is chastised, that petty rebel dull-brained Buckingham, bound in triumphant garlands, will I come to lead thy daughter to a conqueror's bed. She shall hear my conquests won, and she shall be sold in greatness. Caesar's Caesar.
What were I best to say? Her father's brother would be her lord. Or should I say her uncle? Or he that slew
her brothers and her uncles. Under what title shall I woo for thee? That God, the law, my honor, and her love can make seem pleasing to her tender years.
Say I will love her everlastingly.
But how long shall that title ever last?
Sweetly, enforced till her fair life's end.
But how long, fairly, shall her sweet life last?
As long as heaven and nature lengthens it.
As long as Helen Richard likes of it.
Say I, her sovereign, am her subject now.
But she, your subject, loathes such sovereignty.
Be eloquent in my behalf to her.
An honest tale speeds best being plainly told.
And plainly to her tell my loving tale.
Plain and not honest is too harsh a style.
Madam, your reasons are too shallow and too quick.
Oh no, my reasons are too deep and dead. Too deep and dead. Poor infants in their graves.
Harp not on that string, madam, that is past.
Harp on it still shall I, till heartstrings break.
Now, by St. George, my garter and my crown.
Profaned, dishonored, and the third usurped.
I swear.
By nothing, for this is no oath. St. George, profaned, hath lost his holy honor. Thy garter blemished, hath pawned his knightly virtue. Thy crown, usurped, disgraced his kingly glory. If something thou wouldst swear to be believed, swear then by something that thou hast not wronged.
Now, by the word.
'Tis full of thy foul wrongs.
My father's dead.
Thy life hath it dishonored.
Then by myself.
Thyself is so.
Why then by God?
God's wrong is most of all. What canst thou swear by now?
The time to come.
That thou hast wronged in the time o'erpast, for I myself have many tears to wash, for time past wronged by thee. Swear not by time to come, for that thou hast misused, ere used, by times ill-used or past.
As I intend to prosper and repent, so thrive I in my dangerous affairs of hostile arms. Myself confound, God and fortune bar me happy hours. Day, yield me not thy light, nor night thy rest. Be opposite, all planets of good luck to my proceeding, if with dear heart's love, immaculate devotion, holy thoughts, I tender not thy beauteous, princely daughter. Therefore, my mother, for I must call you so, be attorney of my love to her. Plead what I will be, not what I have been. Not my desert, but what I will deserve. Urge the necessity in state of times, and be not peevish found in great designs.
Shall I be tempted by the devil thus?
Aye, if the devil tempt you to do good.
Shall I forget myself to be myself?
Aye, if yourself's remembrance wrong yourself.
Thou didst kill my children.
But in your daughter's womb I'll bury them, where in that nest of spicery they shall breed cells of themselves to your recomfiture.
Shall I win my daughter to thy will?
And to be a happy mother by me.
I go. Write to me very shortly, and you shall understand from me her mind.
Bear her my true heart's peace. So farewell.
Letting fool and shallow changing woman. How now, what news?
Most mighty sovereign, on the western coast rideth the puissant navy. To our shores throng many doubtful, hollow-hearted friends, unarmed and unresolved to beat them back. 'Tis thought that Richmond is their admiral, and there they hull, expecting but the aid of Buckingham to welcome them ashore.
Some light-footed friend posted the Duke of Norfolk. Ratcliffe, thyself. Oh, Catesby, where is he?
Here, my liege.
Catesby, fly to the Duke.
I will, my liege, with all convenient haste.
Ratcliffe, come hither. Post out of Salisbury. When thou comest hither. dull, unmindful villain, why stays thou here and goes not to the Duke?
First, my liege, what is your highness's pleasure? What from your grace shall I deliver to you?
Good to me. Bid him levy straight the great strength and power he can make, and either suddenly at Salisbury. I go.
What, may it please you, shall I do at Salisbury?
Why? What should you do there before I go?
Your Highness told me I should post before.
My mind has changed. Ah, now, Stanley, what's the news with you?
None good, my liege, to please you with the hearing. Nor none so bad may well be reported.
Oh, day a riddle. Neither good nor bad. Why needs thou run so many miles around when I may tell the tale the nearest way? Once more. Sing that neither seas on him. Well, as you can.
He's the chariot.
Is the sword unswayed? Is the king dead? Is the empire unpossessed? What heir of York is there alive but queen? And who is England's king but great York's heir?
And once more, what makes he on the seas?
Unless for that, my liege, I cannot guess.
Unless he comes to be your liege.
You will revolt and fly to him, I fear.
No, my good lord, therefore mistrust me not.
Or be thy powers to lead you back.
Where be thy tenants and thy followers? Now from the western shore, safe conducting the rebels from their ships?
No, my good lord, my friends are in the north.
Cold friends to me.
What do they in the north when they should serve their sovereign in the west?
They have not been commanded, mighty king. Please, if your majesty to give me leave, I'll muster up my friends and meet your grace where and what time your majesty shall please.
Ah, you will be
gone to join with Richmond, but I'll trust thee.
Most mighty sovereign, you have no cause to hold my friendship doubtful. It never was, and it never will be false.
Go, muster men.
My gracious sovereign, now in Devonshire, as I by friends am well advertised, Sir Edward Courtney and the haughty prelate, Bishop of Exeter, his elder brother with many more confederates are in arms.
In Kent, my liege, the Guilfords are in arms, and every hour more competitors flock to the rebels, and their power grows strong.
My lord, the army of great Buckingham.
Avalon, you owls! Nothing but songs of death! Take thou that till thou brings me further news!
The news I have to tell your majesty is that by sudden flood and fall of waters, Buckingham's army is dispersed and scattered, and he himself wandered off alone. No man knows whither.
I cry thee mercy. Here is my hand to help that blow of thine. Hath some well-informed friend posted reward for him that brings the traitor in?
Such proclamation hath been made, my lord.
My liege, Buckingham is taken. That is the best news. That Richmond is with a mighty power landed at Milford is colder tidings, yet they must be told.
We'll wait toward Salisbury. Whilst we reason here, a royal battle may be won and lost.
Someone take order that Buckingham be brought to Salisbury.
The rest march on with me.
Sir Christopher, tell Richmond this from me, that the Queen hath heartily consented he should espouse Elizabeth, her daughter. But tell me, where's Prince of Richmond now?
At Pembroke or Harford West in Wales.
What man of name resorts him?
Sir Walter Herbert, a renowned soldier. Sir James Blunt, Rysap Thomas with a valiant crew, and many others of great name and worth. And towards London do they bend their powers by the way that he not fall far.
Be of good cheer, mother, how fares your grace?
Time to kill Bucky.
If thou wilt outskip death, go cross the sea and live with Richmond the way to hell.
Hearty to my lord, I kiss his hand. This letter will resolve him of my mind. Farewell.
Go now to Richmond, and good fortune attend thee.
King Richard, let me speak with him.
No, my lord.
Therefore, be patient.
Today is All Souls Day, fellow, is it not?
It is.
Well then, All Souls Day is my body's doomsday. This is the day which in King Edward's time I wished might fall on me when I was found false to his children and his wife's allies. This is the day wherein I wish to fall by the false faith of him whom I most trusted. This All Souls Day to my fearful soul is like the determined respite of my wrongs. That high all-seer whom I dallied with hath turned my feigned prayer upon my head and given in earnest what I begged in jest. Thus doth he force the swords of wicked men to turn their points in their masters' bosoms. Thus Margaret's curse falls heavy on my neck. When she, quoth she, shall split thy heart with sorrow, remember, Margaret was a prophetess. Come, officers, lead me to the block of shame. Wrong hath but wrong, and blame the due of blame.
Fellows in arms, and my most loving friends bruised underneath the yoke of tyranny. Thus far into the bowels of the land have we marched on without impediment. And here receive we from our mother Stanley lines of fair comfort and encouragement. The wretched, bloody, and usurping boar that spoiled your summer fields and fruitful vines swills your warm blood like wash and makes his trough in your emboweled bosoms. This foul swine is now even in the center of this isle, near to the town of Leicester, as we learn. From Tamworth thither is but one day's march. In God's name, cheerly on, courageous friends, to reap the harvest of perpetual peace by this one bloody trial of sharp war. Every man's conscience is 1,000 men to fight against this guilty homicide. I doubt not, but his friends will turn to us. He has no friends. But what are friends for fear, which in his dearest need will fly from him? All for our vantage. Then in God's name, march! True hope is swift and flies with swallows' wings. Kings, it makes gods, and meaner creatures, kings.
Keep it your tent, even here in Bosworth Field. My Lord Casey, why would be so sad?
My heart is 10 times lighter than my grace.
Up with my tent. There will I lie tonight. But where tomorrow? All's one for that. Who has described the number of the traitors?
6,000 or 7,000 there.
Well, I would tell you, trouble is on the town. Besides, the king's days are still a restraint which they on the Adler's action war. Up with my tent. Come, noble lord, let us survey the vantage of the ground.
The weary sun hath made a golden set
by the bright track of his fiery car, his touching of a goodly day tomorrow. Good Captain, the Earl of Pembroke keeps his regiment. Fare my good night to him, and by the second hour in the morning, desire the Earl to see me in my tent. Good night, good Captain. Give me some ink and paper in my tent. I'll draw the form and model of our battle, limit each leader to his several charge, and put in small proportion our small power. Into my tent. The dew is raw and cold. Richmond, sir! Zulu Richmond!
What is o'clock?
It is supper time, my lord. It is 9 o'clock.
I will not sup tonight. Is all my armor laid in my tent?
It is, my lord. All things lay in readiness.
Ready for the charge. Choose careful watch. Use trusty sentinels.
I go, my lord.
Stir you with the lark tomorrow.
I warrant you, my lord.
Catesby.
My lord.
Radcliffe.
My lord.
Sir. I am satisfied. Give me a bowl of wine. I have not as lacked the spirit or cheer of mind as I was wont to have. Sit down. Is ink and paper ready?
It is, my lord.
Bid my guard to watch. Evening. About the midnight, come into my tent and help to arm me. Leave me, I say. Give me another horse. Look at my wounds. Have mercy, haste! Soft. I do retreat. Coward conscience, how to afflict me. The light burns blue. It's now dead midnight. Cold, fearful drops stand in my trembling flesh. What do I fear? Myself? There is none else by. Richard loves Richard, that is I and I. Is there a murderer here? Now, the winter of our discontent made glorious summer by this sun of yore. And all the clouds have lowered on our house in the deep bosom of the ocean buried. Now are our brows bound with victorious leaves, our bruised arms hung up for monuments, our stern alarms changed to merry meetings, our dreadful marches to delightful measures. Grim-visaged war hath smoothed his wrinkled front, and now, instead of mounting barbed steeds to fright the souls of fearful adversaries, he capers nimbly in a lady's chambers, with lascivious pleasings. Shaped for sportive tricks, nor made to court an amorous looking glass. Either than rudely stand, one loves majesty struck before a wanton ambling maid. Either than curtail a fair proportion, cheated of feature by dissembling nature, deformed, unfit, set before my time with this breathing world scarce half made up, and that so lamely and unfashionable that dogs bark at me. I hold by them. What am I? In this weak, piping time of peace. I have no delight to pass away the time, unless to spy my shadow in the sun, who descant on my own deformity. And therefore, since I cannot rule the buck, when detain these fair, well-spoken days, I am determined to prove a villain. And hate the idle pleasure of these days. Plots have I laid. Inductions dangerous by broken prophecy, libels and dreams to set my brother Clarence and the king in deadly hate, the one against the other. And if King Edward prove as dive thoughts down to my soul. Brother today. What means this armed guard that waits upon your grace?
His Majesty, tendering my person's safety, hath appointed this conduct to convey me to the tower.
Upon what cause?
Because my name is George. He hearkens after prophecies and dreams. And from the crossroad plucks the letter G and says a wizard told him that by G his issue disinherited should be. And for my name of George begins with G, it follows in his mind that I am he. These, as I learn, and such like toys as these have moved his highness to commit me now.
Why, thus it is when men are ruled by women. Is not the king that sends you to the tower? Safe, Clarence. We are not safe.
I beseech your graces both to pardon me. His Majesty is straitly given in charge that no man shall have private conference of what degree soever with his brother.
Even so. And please your worship, Brackenbury, you may partake of anything we say. We speak no treason, man. We say the king is wise and virtuous. His noble queen, well struck in years, fair, not jealous. And the queen's kindred are made gentlefolk. How say you, Brackenbury, can you deny all this?
We know thy charge, Brackenbury, and will obey.
We are the queen's subjects and must obey. Brother, today, I will unto the king, whatsoever you will employ me. Were to call King Edward's widow sister, I will do it to enfranchise you. Meantime, this deep disgrace in brotherhood touches me deeper than you can imagine.
I know it pleases neither of us well.
Your imprisonment shall not be long. I will deliver you, or else lie for you. time, have patience.
I must, of course. Farewell.
Go. Tread the path thou ne'er shalt return. Plain, simple Clarence, I do love thee so. Shortly I will send thy soul to heaven, if heaven will take the present to thy hands. But who comes here? The newly delivered Hastings.
Good time of day unto my gracious lord.
As much as to my good Lord Chamberlain. Well are you welcome to the open air. How hath your lordship brooked imprisonment?
With patience, noble lord, as prisoners must. But I shall live, my lord, to give them thanks that were the cause of my imprisonment.
No doubt, no doubt. And so shall Clarence, too. For they that were your enemies are his, and prevailed as much on him as you.
Once a pity that the eagle should be mewed while kites and buzzards pray at liberty.
What news abroad?
No news so bad abroad as this at home. The king is sickly, weak and melancholy, and his physicians fear him mightily.
My St. John, that news is bad indeed. He's kept an evil diet long, and overmuch consumed his royal person. This grieves to be thought on. Where is he? In his bed?
He is.
Go you before, I will follow you.
Heaven. I'll in and urge his hatred more to Clarence with lies well steeled with weighty arguments. And if I fail not in my deep intent, Clarence hath not another day to live. Which done, God take King Edward to his mercy. Leave the world for me to bustle in, for then I'll marry Warwick's youngest daughter. What? Though I killed her husband and her father? The readiest way to make the wench amends is to become her husband and her father, the which will I. Not all so much for love, but for another secret close intent by marrying her which I must reach unto. Yet I run before my horse to market. Clarence still breathes, Edward still lives and reigns. When they are gone, then must I count my gains.
Set down your honorable load. His honor may be shrouded in a hearse. Whilst I awhile obsequiously lament the untimely fall of virtuous Lancaster. Poor king-coat figure of a holy king. Pale ashes of the house of Lancaster. Thou bloodless remnant of that royal blood. Be it lawful that I invocate thy ghost to hear the lamentations of poor Anne, wife to thy Edward, to thy slaughtered son, stabbed by the self-same hand that made these wounds. Lo, in these windows that let forth thy life, I pour the helpless balm of my poor eyes. Oh, cursed be the hand that made these holes. Cursed the heart that had the heart to do it. Cursed the blood that let this blood from hence. If ever he have wife, let her be made more miserable by the death of him than I am made by my young lord and thee. Come now towards Chertsey with your holy load. Taken from Paul to be interred there.
Stay. You can bear the course. Set it down.
What mad magician conjures up this fiend to stop devoted charitable deeds?
Villains, set down the course, or by St. Paul I'll make a course of him that disobeys.
What? Do you tremble? Are you all afraid? For alas, I blame you not, for you are mortal, and mortal eyes cannot endure the devil. O bones, thou dreadful minister of hell, thou hadst but power over his mortal body. His soul thou canst not have, therefore be gone.
Sweet saint, for charity be not so cursed.
Thou devil, for God's sake, hence and trouble us not. For thou hast made thy happy earth thy hell, filled it with cursing cries and deep exclaims. If thou delight to view thy heinous deeds, behold this pattern of thy butchery.
begged me to help send him thither, for he was fitter for that place than earth.
And thou who fit for any place but hell.
Yes, one place else, if you give me name it.
Some dungeon.
Your bedchamber.
Is not the cause of the time's death of these two Plantagenets, Henry and Edward, as blameful as the executioner?
Thou was the cause and most accursed effect.
Thy beauty was the cause of that fact. Thy beauty that did haunt me in my sleep, to undertake the death of all the world, I might live 1 hour in your sweet bosom.
If I thought that, I tell thee, homicide, these nails should rend that beauty from my cheeks.
These eyes could not endure that beauty's wrath. You should not blemish it if I stood by. As all the world is cheered by the sun, so I by that. It is my day, my life.
Black night o'ershade thy day, and death thy life.
Curse not thyself, fair creature, thou art both.
I would I were to be revenged on thee.
Quarrel most unnatural, to be revenged on him that loved me.
It is a quarrel just and reasonable to be revenged on him that killed my husband.
He that bereft thee, lady, of a husband, did it to help thee to a better husband.
His better doth not breathe upon the earth.
He lives that loves thee better than he could.
Name him.
Plantagenet.
Why, that was he.
The self-same name, but one of better nature.
Where is he?
Here. Why dost thou spit at me?
Would it were mortal poison for thy sake!
Never came poison from a sweeter place.
Never hung poison on a fouler toad. Out of my sight, thou dost infect mine eyes.
Thine eyes, sweet lady, have infected mine. Kiss not thy lips such scorn, fair creature. It was made for kissing, not for such contempt. Lo, if thy revengeful heart cannot forgive, here I lend thee a sharp-pointed sword, which if thou choose to hide in this true heart, and let forth the soul that loved thee, I lay naked to the deadly stroke, and humbly beg the death upon my knee. Nay, do not pause! I did kill King Henry. 'Twas the beauty that brought me. Nay, thou dispatch. I did stab young Edward. 'Twas thy heavenly face that set me on.
Healed in thy nativity, the slave of nature, the son of hell. Thou slanderer of thy heavy mother's womb, thou loathed issue of thy father's loins, thou rag of honor, thou detested
Margaret!
Richard! I call thee not.
I cry thee mercy, for I did think thou didst call me all these bitter names.
Why, so I did, but looked for no reply. Oh, let me make the period to my curse.
'Tis done by me and ends in Margaret.
Thus have you breathed the curse.
Clarence, whom I indeed least think of fight. Tell them is a queen and her allies, stirs the king is the king my love. And with all an odd old inn stolen forth of holy writ, and seem a saint when most I play the devil. But some, here my executioners come. How now, my hardy, stout resolvements? Are you going to dispatch this thing?
We are, my lord, and come to have the warrant, that we may be admitted where he is.
Well thought upon. I have it here about me somewhere. But, sirs, be sudden in your execution. With all offer, do not fear and plead, for Clarence is well spoken. May perchance move your hearts to pity if you mark him.
Tut, tut, my lord, we will not stand to prate. Talkers are no good doers. Be assured we go to use our hands, and not our tongues.
Your eyes fall millstones where fools' eyes fall tears. I like you, lads. About your business straight. Go. Go dispatch.
We will, my noble lord.
passed a miserable night, so full of fearful dreams, of ugly sights, that as I am a faithful Christian man, I would not spend another such a night, though 'twere to buy a world of happy days. So full of dismal terror was the time. Thoughts that I had broken from the tower and was embarked across to Burgundy. In my company, my brother Gloucester, who from my cabin tempted me to walk upon the hatches. Thence we looked towards England, and sighted up 1,000 heavy times during the wars of York and Lancaster that had befallen us. As we passed along upon the giddy footing of the hatches, we thought that Gloucester stumbled, and in falling, struck me that thought to stay him overboard into the tumbling billows of the main. Oh, Lord, methought what pain it was to drown, what dreadful noise of waters in my ears, what sights of ugly death within mine eyes. Methoughts I saw 1,000 fearful wrecks, 10,000 men that fishes gnawed upon, wedges of gold, great anchors, ships of pearl, inestimable stones, unvalued jewels all scattered in the bottom of the sea. Some lay in dead men's skulls, and in the holes where eyes did once inhabit there were crept, as 'twere in scorn of eyes, reflecting gems that wooed the slimy bottom of the deep and mocked the dead bones that lay scattered by. Had I such leisure in the time of death to gaze upon these secrets of the deep? I thought I had, and often did I strive to yield the coast. But still the envious flood stopped in my soul, and would not let it forth to find the empty, vast, and wandering air, but smothered it within my panting bulk, which almost burst and belched in the sea. Then began tempest in my soul. I passed, methought, the melancholy flood with that sour ferryman whose poets write about the kingdom of perpetual night. The first that dared greet my stranger souls, my great father-in-law, renowned Warwick, who spake aloud, "What scourge for perjury can this dark monarchy afford false Clarence?" So he vanished. And he wandered by a shadow, like an angel, with bright hair, dabbled in blood. Then he shrieked out aloud, "Clarence is come, false, fleeting, perjured Clarence. Then stab me in the field by Tewkesbury, seize on him furies, take him unto torment." And we thought a legion of foul fiends admired me, and howling in my ears such hideous cries, that with the very noise I trembling wait, and for a season after could not believe but that I was in hell. Such terrible impression made my dream. My soul is heavy, and I fain would sleep. Where art thou, keeper? Bring me a cup of wine.
You shall have wine enough, my lord, anon.
In God's name, what art thou?
A man as you are.
But not as I am royal.
Nor you as we are. Loyal.
Thy voice is thunder, but thy looks are humble.
My voice is now the king's. My looks mine own.
Darkly, how deadly dost thou speak. Your eyes, they do menace me. Why look you pale? Who sent you hither? Wherefore did you come?
To
murder me.
Why so? Now have I done a good day's work. You peers continue this united league. I every day expect an embassage from my Redeemer to redeem me hence, and more in peace my soul shall part to heaven, since I have made my friends at peace on earth. Rivers and Hastings, take each other's hand. Dissemble not your hatred. Swear your love.
By heaven, my soul is purged of grudging hate. By my hand I seal my true heart's love.
So thrive I, as I truly swear the like.
Madam, yourself is not exempt from this. You have been factious one against the other. Wife, love Lord Hastings. Let him kiss your hand, and what you do, do it unfeignedly.
There, Hastings, I will never more remember our former hatred. So thrive I and mine.
And so swear I.
Now, Buckingham, seal thou this league with thy embracements to my wife's allies, and make me happy in your unity.
Whenever Buckingham doth turn his hate upon your grace, but with all duteous love doth cherish you and yours, God punish me with hate in those where I expect most love.
A pleasing, cordial, princely Buckingham, is this thy vow unto my sickly heart?
Good morrow to my sovereign king and queen, and princely peers. Happy time of day.
Happy indeed, as we have spent the day. Gloucester, we have done deeds of charity, made peace of enmity, fair love of hate, against these swelling, wrong, incensed peers.
A blessed labor, my sovereign lord.
Among this princely heap, if any here by false intelligence or wrong surmise hold me a foe, if I, unwittingly or in my rage, have aught committed that is hardly borne by any in this presence, I desire to reconcile me to his friendly peace. 'Tis death to me to be at enmity. I hate it, and desire all good men's love. First, madam, I entreat true peace of you, which I will purchase with my duteous service. My noble cousin Buckingham, of you, if ever any grudge were lodged between us, dukes, lords, earls, gentlemen, indeed, of all. I do not know the Englishman alive with whom my soul is any jot at odds more than the infant that is born tonight. I thank God for my humility.
harness be kept hereafter. I would to God all strifes were well compounded.
My sovereign lord, I do beseech your highness to take our brother Clarence to your grace.
Have I offered love for this? To be so flouted in this royal presence? Who knows not the gentle duke is dead, and to an injury to scorn his corpse?
Who knows not he is dead? Who knows he is?
Oh, seeing heaven, what a world is this?
Is Clarence dead? The order was reversed.
But he, poor man, by your first order died, and that some winged Mercury did bear. Some tardy, crippled boy the counterman that came too lag to see him buried.
A boon, my sovereign, for my service done.
I prithee peace. My soul is full of sorrow.
I will not rise unless your highness hear me.
And say at once what it is thou demandest.
The pardon, sovereign, of my servant's life, who slew today a riotous gentleman lately attendant on the Duke of Norfolk.
Have I a tongue to doom my brother's death, and shall that tongue give pardon to a slave? My brother killed no man. His fault was thought, and yet his punishment was bitter death. Who sued to me for him? Who in my wrath kneeled at my feet and bade me be advised? Who spoke of brotherhood? Who spoke of love? Who told me how the poor soul did forsake the mighty Warwick and did fight for me? Who told me in the field at Tewkesbury when Oxford had me down, he rescued me and said, "Dear brother, live and be a king"? Who told me when we both lay in the field, frozen almost to death, how he did lap me even in his garments and did give himself all thin and naked to the numb cold night? All this from my remembrance, brutish wrath, sinfully plot. And not a man of you had so much grace to put it in my mind. But when your carters or your waiting vassals have done a drunken slaughter and defaced the precious image of our dear Redeemer, you straight are on your knees for pardon. Pardon. And I unjustly too must grant it you. Unto myself for him. The proudest of you all have been beholding to him in his life, yet not one of you would once beg for his life. God, I fear thy justice will come and take hold on me and you and mine and yours for this. Come, Hastings, come to my closet. Oh, poor Clarence.
Rashness. Marked you not how the guilty kindred of the queen did look pale when they heard of Clarence's death? They did urge it still unto the king. God will revenge it. Come, go in and comfort Edward with our company.
Edward, my lord, thy son. Our king is dead. Why grow the branches when the root is gone? Why wither not the leaves that want their sap? If you will live, lament. If die, be brief, that our swift-winged souls may catch the kings, or like obedient subjects follow him to his new kingdom of ne'er-changing night.
Oh! So much interest have I in thy sorrow, as I had title in thy noble husband. I have bewept a worthy husband's death, and lived with looking on his images. But now, 2 mirrors of his princely semblance are cracked in pieces by malignant death. And I, for comfort, have but one false glass that grieves me when I see my fame in him. Thou art a widow, yet thou art a mother, and hast the comfort of thy children left. But death has snatched my husband from mine arms and plucked 2 crutches from my feeble hands. Clarence and Edward, oh, what cause have I? Thine being but a moiety of my moan, to overgo thy woes and drown thy cries.
Give me no help in lamentation, I am not bearing to bring forth complaints. All springs reduce their currents to mine eyes, that I, being governed by the watering moon, may send forth plenteous tears to drown the world. For my husband, for my dear Lord Edward.
Sister, bethink you like a careful mother of the young prince, your son. Send straight for him, let him be crowned, in him your comfort lives. Drown desperate sorrow in dead Edward's grave, and plant your joys in living Edward's throne.
Sister, we all of us have cause to wail the dimming of our shining star, but none may help our cause by wailing her.
But we have spent the harvest of this king. We are set to reap the harvest of his son. We seemeth good that with some little train, my lord, forthwith from Ludlow, the young princess be fit hither to London to be crowned our king.
Why with some little train, my lord of Buckingham?
Marry, my lord, lest by the multitude the new-healed wound of malice should break out, which would be all the more dangerous as the estate is green and yet ungoverned. Where every horse bears his commanding rein and may direct his course as please himself, the fear of harm, as harm apparent, in my opinion, ought to be prevented.
I hope the king made peace with all of us. And the compact is firm and true in me.
And so in me. And so I think in all. Yet since it is but green, it should be put to no apparent likelihood of breach, which haply by much company might be urged. Therefore I say, with noble Buckingham, that it is meet, so few should fetch the prince.
And so say I.
And so say I.
And be it so. And go we to determine whom they shall be that straight shall post to Ludlow. Madam, and you, my sister. I, as a child, will go by thy direction. Towards Ludlow, then, for we'll not stay behind.
Nothing you told me can understand. I had to turn back up while. Then Master looked to see a troublous world. Oh no, back up to the great that's all right. Woe to the land that's governed by a child.
Full of dangers, there's the gossip. And the queen's sons and brothers fought with Brown. And were they to be ruled, and not to rule, this sickly land might solve such a fool.
I promise you, I scarcely know myself. Here even is abroad. Yes, the king is dead. The old news by Our Lady. Seldom comes the better. I fear to prove a giddy world.
Well, in him there's a hope of government, which in his knowledge counsels him well, and in his full and ripened years, Himself no doubt shall then, and till then, govern well.
Come, come, we fear the worst. All will be well.
Here comes a messenger, such news as grieves me to report. Lord Rivers is sent upon Fritz, prisoner. Who hath committed him? The mighty Dukes Gloucester and Buckingham. For what offense? The sum of all I can I have disclosed. Why, for what the noble was committed is all unknown to me.
Welcome, sweet prince.
Welcome here, cousin. I thought so. Were you back to
No, uncle. But our crosses on the way have made it tedious, wearisome, and heavy. I want more uncles here to welcome me.
The untainted virtue of your years has not yet died into the world's conceit. No more may you distinguish of a man than that of his outward show, which God he knows, seldom and never jumps with his heart. Those uncles we want were dangerous. Your grace attended to their sugared words, but looked not to the poison in their hearts. God keep you from it, and from such false friends.
God keep me from false friends, but they were none. I thought my mother and my brother York long ere this had met us on the way. Say, Uncle Gloucester, if our brother come, where shall we sojourn till our coronation?
Where seems best of your royal self? If I may counsel you, some day or two you will go to the power. And then will you seem best in the best health and recreation.
I do not like the power of your place. Did Julius Caesar build that place, my lord?
He did, my lord, begin that place, which since succeeding ages have re-edified.
Is it upon record or else important? I'll tell you what, the cousin Buckingham.
What, gracious lord?
And if I live until I be a man, I'll win our ancient right in France again, or die a soldier, as I lived a king.
Short summers lightly ever forward spring.
Now in good time, here comes the Duke of York.
Richard of York, how fares our loving brother?
Well, my dread lord, so must I call you now.
Aye, brother, to our grief, as it is to yours. Too soon he died that might have kept that title, which by his death hath lost much majesty.
How fares our noble cousin, noble lord of York?
I thank you, gentle uncle. Oh, my lord, you said that I would be the task of growth. The prince, my brother, hath outgrown me far.
He hath, my lord.
Therefore is he idle.
My lord, I must not say so.
Therefore he's more golden to you than I.
He may command me as my sovereign, but you have power in me as in a kinsman.
I pray you, uncle, give me this dagger.
My dagger, little cousin? With all my heart.
A beggar, brother.
Of my kind, uncle, that I know will give, and being but a toy which is no grief to give.
A greater gift than that I'll give my cousin.
A greater gift? Oh, that's the sword you went.
Aye, were it light enough for your grace to bear.
Oh, then I see old papa light things and weighty things. You'll say a beggar nay.
It is too heavy for your grace to wear.
I weighed lightly, were it heavier.
What? Would you have my weapon, little lord?
I would that I might think what you call me.
How?
Little.
My lord of York will still be cross in talk. Uncle, your grace knows how to bear with him.
You mean to bear me, not to bear with me? Uncle, my brother mocks both you and me. Because I'm little like an ape, he thinks that you should bear me on your shoulders.
What a sharp provided witty reasons! To mitigate the scorn he gives his uncle, he prettily and aptly taunts himself. So cunning and so young is wonderful.
May it please you, Lord, to pass along. But because at Buckingham and I will to your mother, there to entreat her to meet you at the Tower and welcome you.
What? Will you go into the Tower, my lord?
My Lord Protector needs will have it so.
Oh, I shall not sleep in quiet at the Tower.
Why? What should you fear?
Mary, my uncle Clarence's angry ghost in my crown and told me he was murdered there.
I fear no uncle's dead.
No, none that live, I hope.
And if they live, I hope I need not fear. But come, my lord, and with a heavy heart, thinking on them, go I unto the Tower.
Think you, my lord, this little prating York was not incensed by his supple mother to taunt and scorn you thus opprobriously?
No doubt, no doubt. He's palatable, bold, ingenious, quick, forward, capable. He's all the mothers from top to toe.
Well, let that rest. Catesby, come hither. Thou art sworn as deeply to effect what we intend as closely to conceal what we impart. Thou knowest our reasons urged along the way. What thinkst thou? This is not an easy matter to make Lord Hastings of our mind for the installment of the noble Duke in the seat royal of this famous isle.
If the late king's sake so loves the prince that he will not be one to warn against him.
What thinkst thou then of Stanley, will not she?
She will do all in all as Hastings does.
Well then, no more but this. Go, gentle Catesby, as if it were afar off. Sound thou Lord Hastings how he doth stand affected to our purpose, and summon him tomorrow to sit about the coronation. If he be tractable to us, encourage him and tell him all our reasons. If he be leaden, icy, cold, unwilling, be thou so too, and so break off the talks. For tomorrow we hold divided council wherein thyself shalt hide in the Lord. Go, gentle Catesby, effect this business soundly.
My good lords both, with all the heed I can.
Shall we hear from you, Catesby, ere we sleep?
You shall, my lord.
At Crosby Place, there you shall find us both.
What shall we do, my lord, if we perceive Lord Hastings will not yield to our complots?
Might chop off his head, man. Some of what we do. And look you. When I am king, claim you of me the earldom of Hereford, and all the movables where the king, my brother, possessed. This up, I guess our complex is a 4.
Many good morrows to my noble lord.
Morrow, Catesby? What news? What news in this our tottering state?
It is a reeling world indeed, my lord. And I believe will never stand upright till Richard wear the garland of the realm.
How? Wear the garland? Does that mean the crown?
Aye, my lord.
I'll have this crown of mine cut from my shoulders before I'll see the crown so foul misplaced. But canst thou guess that he doth aim at it?
Upon my life. He hopes you are forward upon his party for the game thereof. Thereupon he sends you this good news, that this same very day, your enemies, the kindred of the Queen, must die at Pomfret.
Indeed, I am no mourner for that news, because they have been still my adversaries. But that I'll give my voice on Richard's side, to bar my master's heirs in true descent. God knows I will not do it!
God keep your lordship in that gracious mind.
But I shall laugh at this 12 months hence, that they which brought me in my master's hate I live to look upon their tragedy. Oh. Well, Catesby, ere a fortnight make me older, I'll send some packing that yet think not on it.
It's a vile thing to die, my lord, when men are unprepared and look not for it.
Monstrous, monstrous. So falls it out with rivers, and so 'twill do with some men else that think themselves as safe as thou and I, whom, as thou knowest, are dear to princely Richard and to Buckingham.
The princes both make high account of you.
I know they do, and I have well deserved it. Now, noble peers, the cause why we are met is to determine of the coronation. In God's name, speak! When is the royal day?
Is all things ready for the royal time?
It is and wants but nomination.
Tomorrow, then, I judge a happy day.
Who's the Lord Protector's mind weary? Who's most inward with the noble Duke?
Well, your grace, we think, should soonest know his mind.
We know each other's faces. As for our hearts, he knows no more of mine than I of yours, or I of his, my lord, than you of mine. Lord Hastings, you and he are near in love.
I thank his grace. I know he loves me well, but for his purpose in the coronation I have not sounded him, nor he delivered his gracious pleasure any way therein. But you, my honorable lords, may name the time, and in the Duke's behalf I'll give my voice, which I presume you'll take in gentle part.
In happy time, here is the Duke himself.
My noble lords and cousins all, tomorrow. I have been long a sleeper, but I trust my absence has neglected no great design, which by my presence might have been concluded.
I do not come upon your cue, my lord. William Lord Hastings had pronounced your part. Your voice, I mean, for crowning of the king.
That my Lord Hastings no man may be bolder. His lordship knows me well and loves me well. Cousin of Buckingham, a word with you.
Times tested him so hot that he will lose his head. And if he said his master's child, and words shall lose his royalty and England's throne. Come, cousin. There's a quake to change thy color.
Murder that breath in the middle of a word and then again begin and stop again as though we're distraught and mad with fear.
Tonight, I can counterfeit the deep tragedy. Start and look back in pride every side. Speak and tremble at wagging of a straw, impending deep suspicion. Ghastly looks are at my service like enforced smiles, and each is ready at any time to grace my stratagems. For what, is Kingsby gone?
He is. And see, he brings the mayor along.
We have not yet set down this day of triumph. Tomorrow, in my judgment, is too sudden, for I myself am not so well provided as I would be were the day prolonged.
His grace looks cheerfully and smooth today. There's some conceit or other likes him well, when that he bids good morrow with such spirit. I think there is never a man in Christendom can lesser hide his love or hate than he. For by his face, straight shall you know his heart.
What if his heart perceive you in his face by any livelihood he showed today?
Marry, that with no man here he is offended, for were he had shown it by his looks.
I pray God he be not, I say. Lord Mayor.
Look at the drawbridge there! Look at the drawbridge! Look back, defend me. Here there are enemies.
Oh my God, and our innocents defend and guard us!
Here is the hand of that ignoble traitor. The dangerous and unsuspected Hastings.
I'll tell you what. Tell me what they deserve to conspire my death with damned plots of devilish witchcraft, that prevail thus upon my body with their hellish charms.
The tender love I bear your grace, my lord, makes me most bold in the princely presence. To damn the offenders, whatsoever they may be. I say, my lord, they have deserved death.
It be your eyes the witness of their evil. Behold, mine arm is like a blasted sapling withered up, that by their witchcraft thus have marked me.
If they have done this deed, my lord.
If! Talks thou to me of ifs. Thou art a traitor. Off with his head. Thou must see all. I swear I will not die until I see the same. Since you I love the man that I must weep. I took him for the plainest soul that breathed upon the earth a Christian. Hated my book, wherein my soul recorded all her secret thoughts. The peace of England and our person's safety enforced us to this execution.
Now, fair before you. He deserves his death. And your good graces both have well proceeded to warn false traitors from the like attempts. I'll acquaint our duteous citizens with all your just proceedings in this cause.
Adler, cousin of Buckingham, the mayor towards Guildhall lies in an outpost. There, at your meanest advantage of the time, infer the bastardy of Edward's children. Moreover, urge his hateful luxury and bestial appetite and change of lust, that stretched under their servants, daughters, wives, even where his raging eye and a savage heart lusted without control to make a prey. Nay, for any thus far come near my person, tell them, when my mother went with child of that insatiate Edward, my noble father, princely York, then had wars in France, and by true computation of the time, found the issue was not his begot, which well appeared his lineaments being nothing like the noble duke my father. But my lord, question sparingly, this were far off, because you know my mother lived.
Doubt not, my lord. I'll play the orator as if the golden fee for which I plead were for myself. And so, my lord, adieu.
If you thrive well, bring him to Baynard's castle. You shall find me well accompanied with reverend fathers and well-learned bishops.
I go, and towards 3 or 4 o'clock, look to the news, the Guildhall affords.
Now go on, to take some privy order that no man or person have any time recourse unto the prince.
Woe! Woe for England! Not a whit for me! For I, too far, might have prevented this! 3 times today my foot-cloth horse did stumble and started when he looked upon the tower. It loathed to bear me to that slaughterhouse. Oh, Margaret! 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 Now thy heavy curse is lighted on poor Hastings' wretched head.
Come, come, dispatch. The Duke would be at dinner. Make a short shrift. He longs to see your head.
Oh,
momentary grace of mortal man, which we more hunt for than the grace of God, who builds his hope in air of thy good looks, lives like a drunken sailor on the mast, ready with each nod to tumble into the fatal bowels of the deep.
Come! Come, dispatch, 'tis bootless to exclaim.
Oh, bloody Richard! Miserable England! I prophesy the fearfulest time for thee that ever wretched age hath looked upon. Come, lead me to the block. Bring him my head. They smile on me that shortly shall be dead.
His enforcement of the city wise, his own bastardly which being got, your father then in France and his resemblance being not like the Duke's. Withal, I did infer your lineaments being the right idea of your father, both in form and nobleness of mind, laid open all your victories in Scotland, your discipline in war, wisdom and peace, virtue, bounty, fair humility. Indeed, let nothing fitting for your purpose untouched, or slightly handled in discourse. And when mine oratory drew to a close, I bid them that did love their country's good cry, God save Richard, England's royal king.
And did they so?
No, so God help me, they spake not a word, but like dumb statues or breathing stones stared at each other and looked deadly pale.
What? Tongueless blocks were they? Would they not speak?
The mayor is here at hand. Intend some fear. Be not you spoken, but by mighty sleep. And look you, get a prayer book in your hands, and stand you between two churchmen. Good, my lord. For on that ground we'll build a holy descant, and be not easily won to our requests. Still answer nay, then take it.
Go. And if you please well for them as I can say nay to thee myself, no doubt will bring it to happy issue.
Welcome, my lord. I dance attendance here. The Duke will not be spoken with all. Now, Catesby, what says your grace to my request?
He doth entreat your grace to visit him tomorrow or next day. He is within with two right reverend fathers, divinely bent to meditation, and in no worldly suits will he be met to move him from his holy exercise.
Return, good Catesby, to the gracious Duke. Tell him myself, the mayor and aldermen, in deep designs, in matter of great moment, are here to have some conference with his grace.
I'll signify so much unto him straight.
My lord, this prince is not an Edward. He's not lolling on a lewd love bed, but on his knees in meditation. He's not dallying with a brace of courtesans, but meditating with two deep divines, not sleeping to engross his idle body, but praying to engross his watchful soul.
Happy were England would this virtuous prince take unto his grace the sovereignty thereof.
But sure I fear we will not win him to it.
Marry God defend, his grace would say us nay.
Feared he will. But here comes Catesby again. Catesby, what says his grace?
He wonders to what end you have assembled such troops of citizens to come to him, his grace not having been warned thereof before. He fears you mean no good to him.
Sorry I am. My noble cousin should think I mean him no good. Why haven't we come to him in perfect love? So return once more and tell his grace.
When holy and devout religious men are at their beads, 'tis much to drag them thus, so sweet is zealous contemplation. See where his grace stands between two clergymen?
Two props of virtue for a Christian prince to stay him his fall of vanity.
And in his hand a book of prayer, the true ornament for a holy man.
Famous Plantagenet, O most gracious prince, lend favorable ear to our requests, and forgive us this interruption of thy zealous and right Christian zeal.
My lord, and for such apology, I do beseech your grace to pardon me, who earnest in the service of my God, the further visitation of my friends. Yet leaving this, what is your grace's pleasure?
Even that, I hope, which pleaseth God above, and all good men of this ungoverned isle.
I do suspect I have done some offense that seems disgracious in the city's eye, and if you come to reprehend my ignorance.
Would it might please your grace on our entreaties to lament your fault?
Elsewhere for free I and Christian land.
Know that it is your fault that you refuse the supreme seat, the throne majestical, the scepter office of your ancestors, your place of fortune and due of birth, the lineal glory of your royal house unto the corruption of a blemished self, which to recure, we heartily solicit your gracious self to take on you charge and kingdom.
I'm not made of stones.
But
and sage grave men, since you will buckle fortune on my back to bear the burden whether I will or no. I must have patience to endure the load. But if black scandal or foul-faced reproach attend the sequel of your imposition, your mere enforcement shall acquittance me of all the impure stains and blots thereof. For God doth know, and you may partly see how far I am from the desire of this.
God bless your grace, we see it, and we'll say it.
In saying so, you shall but say truth.
Then I salute you with this royal title. Long live Richard, England's worthy king. Amen.
Amen.
Tomorrow pleaseth you to be crowned?
Even when you please, for you will have it so.
Then tomorrow we will wait upon your grace, and so most joyfully do I take my leave.
Come, let us to our holy work again. Farewell, cousin Buckingham. Farewell, noble friends.
My lord.
My niece Plantagenet, led in the hand by her kind aunt of Gloucester. Now for my life she's wandering to the tower on pure heart's love to greet the tender prince. God are well met.
God give your graces both a happy and joyful time of day.
As much for you, good sister. Whither away?
No farther than the tower. And as I guess, upon the like devotion as yourselves, to gratulate the gentle princes there.
Kind sister, thanks. We'll enter all together. And in good time, here the lieutenant comes, Master Lieutenant. Pray you by your leave, how doth the prince and my young son of yours?
Right well, dear madam. By your patience, I may not suffer you to visit him. The king hath strictly charged the contrary.
The king? Who's that?
I mean the Lord Protector.
The Lord Protector from that kingly title?
Huh?
Have ye set bounds between their love and me? I am their mother. Who shall bar me from them?
I am their father's mother. I will see them.
Their aunt I am in law, in love their mother. Then bring me to their sights, I'll bear thy blame, and take thy office from thee on my peril.
No, madam, no. I may not leave it so. I am bound by oath. Therefore, pardon me.
Let me but meet you ladies 1 hour hence, and I'll salute your Grace of York as mother and reverend looker-on of 2 fair queens. Come, madam, you must straight to Westminster, there to be crowned Richard's royal queen.
Oh, cut my laces asunder that my penthouse may have some scope to beat, or else I swoon with this dead-killing news.
Despiteful tidings, oh unpleasing news.
Oh, ill-dispersing wind of misery.
Oh, my cursed wolf, the bed of death! A cockatrice hast thou hatched to the world, whose unavoided eye is murderous.
Come, madam, come, I in all haste was sent.
And I with all unwillingness will go. Would to God that the inclusive birds of golden metal that must round my brow were red-hot steel to sear me to the brain. Anointed let me be with deadly.
Anything like so long with me on the tire and stop on the deck. Good Catesby, come in. Rumored abroad that Anne might be very sweet to sing. I will take order and keep you close. Hey, look out of dreams, man. I say again, leave out that Anne, my queen, is sin and light to God. For it stands to me much as all those who love me savage me. I must be married to my eldest daughter. My kingdom stands on full glass. Murder her brothers and marry her. A certain way of being, but I need so called blood and sin of my tear falling pity dwells not in this house.
Ratcliffe, and your most obedient subject,
art thou indeed?
Prove me, my gracious lord.
There's a result of a friend of mine.
Please you, but I had rather kill two enemies.
Thou hast. Two deep enemies in my sweet sleep's disturbance a man would have to deal upon.
Gregory, I mean those bastards in the tower. Let me have open means to come to them, and soon I'll rid you from the fear of them.
Thus things sweet music. Rise the living. The one say it is done, and I will love thee and prefer thee more.
I will dispatch the string.
My lord, I have considered in my mind the late request that you did sound me.
Well, let that rest.
My lord, I wish to claim the gift, your due by promise, for which your honor is faith and oft. The earldom at Hereford and the movables which you have promised that I shall possess. What says your just demand?
You remember that you gave the sick and prophesied the Richmond should. When Richmond was but a peevish little boy. King! My lord, okay. I mean, fine, and I shall kill it. I know your house will be golden. Aye. Well, what is a clock?
Upon the stroke of 10.
Let it strike.
Why let it strike?
Because, like a jack, thou keepest troth betwixt thy begging and my meditation. I am not in a giving vein today.
May it please you to resolve me in my suit!
Thou troubles me. I'm not in the vein.
You have such nice thighs.
They see my deep service with such contempt. Made I him a king for this? The breath knock while my fearful head is on.
Albeit they were fleshed villains, bloody dogs, melted with tenderness and mild compassion, wept like two children in their death's sad story. Oh, thus lay the tender babes, thus, girdling one another within their alabaster innocent arms. Their lips, 4 red roses on a stalk, and in their summer beauty kissed each other.
A book of prayers on their pillow lay, which once almost changed my mind, but oh, the devil!
We smothered the most replenished, sweet work of nature, that from the prime creation ere she framed.
both are gone. With conscience and remorse they could not speak. And so I left them both to bear this tidings to the bloody king.
Gregory, am I happy in my news?
If to have done the thing you gave in charge beget your happiness, be happy then, for it is done.
Come to me soon after supper. Meantime, but think how I may do thee good and be inheritor of thy desire. Farewell, till then.
I humbly take my leave.
The sons of Edward sleep in Abraham's bosom, and Anne, my queen, hath bid this world good night. Now, for I know that Breton Richmond aims at young Elizabeth, and by that knot looks proudly on the crown. To her I go, a jolly, thriving wooer.
My lord!
Good news or bad, thou comes in so bluntly.
The mayor is fled to Richmond. And Buckingham? Backed by the hardy Welshman is in the field, and still his power increaseth.
The mayor with Richmond troubles me more near than Buckingham his rationally strength. Come. I have learned that fearful commenting is like the servant at a dull delay. Delay leads impotent and snail-paced beggary. Then fiery expedition be my wing. Jove's Mercury and herald for a king. Go! Muster men. My counsel is my shield. We must be brief when traitors brave the field.
So many miseries have crazed my voice that my woe-weary tongue is still and mute. Edward Plantagenet, why art thou dead? Wilt thou, O God, fly from such gentle lambs and throw them to the entrails of the wolf? Where didst thou sleep when such a deed was done? Dead life, blind sight, poor mortal living ghost, woes seen, world shame, graves due by life usurped, brief abstract and record of tedious days, rest thy unrest on England's lawful earth, unlawfully made drunk with innocent blood.
Ah, that thou wouldst as soon afford a grave as thou canst yield a melancholy seed, then would I hide my bones, not rest them here. Oh, where then cause to mourn, but weep.
If ancient sorrow be most reverend, give mine the benefit of signory, and let my griefs frown on the upper hand. If sorrow can admit society, tell o'er your woes again by viewing mine. I had an Edward till a Richard killed him. I had a husband till a Richard killed him. Thou hast an Edward till a Richard killed him. Thou hast a Richard till a Richard killed him.
I had a Richard too, and thou didst kill him. I had a Rutland too, and thou helpst to kill him.
Thou hast a Clarence too, and a Richard killed him. That was me. From forth the kennel of thy womb has crept a hellhound that doth hunt us all to death. That dog that had his teeth before his eyes to worry lambs and lap their gentle blood. That excellent grand tyrant of the earth that reigns in gold eyes of weeping souls. That foul defacer of God's handiwork, thy womb that lips to chase us to our graves.
you of his mother's body, and makes her pew fellow with others' moans.
Oh, Harry's wife, triumph not in my woes. God witness with me, I have wept for thine.
Bear with me. I am hungry for revenge, that I may live and say, the dog is dead.
No, thou didst prophesy the time would come that I should wish for thee to help me curse that bottled spider, that foul punchback toad.
I call thee then vain flourish of my fortune. I call thee then poor shadow-painted queen, the presentation of but what I was, and leave the burden of it all on thee. Where are thy two sons? Wherein dost thou joy? Who soothes and kneels and says, God save the Queen? Farewell, York's wife and Queen of sadness chance. These English woes shall make me smile in France.
Oh, thou well skilled in curses, stay a while and teach me how to curse mine enemies.
Forbear to sleep the nights and fast the days. Compare dead happiness with living woe. Think that thy babes were sweeter than they were, and he that slew them fouler than he is. Bettering thy loss makes the bad causer worse. Revolving these will teach thee how to curse.
My words are dull. I'll quicken them with thine.
Thy woes will make them sharp and pierce like mine.
Would accept me in my expedition?
Art thou my son?
Aye, I thank God, my father, and yourself.
Then patiently hear my impatience.
Madam, I have any touch of your condition and cannot brook the accent of reproof.
Oh, let me speak.
Do then, but I'll not hear.
I will be mild and gentle in my words.
And brief, good mother, for I in haste.
Prithee, let me speak.
You speak too bitterly.
Hear me a word, for I shall never speak to thee again.
So.
Either thou wilt die by God's just ordinance, ere from this war thou turn a conqueror, or I, with grief and extreme rage, shall perish and never more again see thy face. Bloody thou art! Bloody will be thy end. Shame serves thy life. Oh, and will thy death attend.
The far more cause, yet much less spirit to curse abides in thee. I say amen to her.
Stay, madam. I would talk a word with you.
I have no more sons of the royal blood for thee to slaughter. As for my daughter, Richard, she shall be a praying nun, not a weeping queen, and therefore level not to hit her life.
You have a daughter called Elizabeth, virtuous and fair, royal and gracious.
And must she die for this? Oh, let her live, and I'll corrupt her manners, stain her beauty, slander myself as false to Edward's bed, throw over her the veil of infamy, so she may live unscarred of bleeding slaughter. I will confess she was not Edward's daughter.
Brought not her birth. She is a royal princess.
To save her life, I'll say she is not so.
Her life is safest only in her birth.
And only in that safety died her brothers.
Lo, at their birth good stars were opposite.
No, to their lives ill friends were contrary.
All unavoided is the doom of destiny.
True, when avoided grace makes destiny. My babes were destined to a fairer death if grace had blessed thee with a fairer life.
You speak as if I had slain my cousins.
Cousins indeed, and by their uncle cozened, of comfort, kingdom, kindred, freedom, life. Whose hand soever lend'st their tender hearts, thy head, all indirectly gave direction. No doubt the murderous knife was dull and blunt till it was whetted on my stone hard heart to revel in the entrails of my blood.
Madam, So thrive I in my dangerous success of bloody wars, as I intend more good to you and yours than ever you or yours by me were harmed.
Be brief, lest that the process of thy kindness last longer telling than thy kindness's date.
Then know, from my soul I love thy daughter, and do intend to make her Queen of England.
Well then, who dost thou mean shall be her king?
Why, even he that makes her queen, who else should be?
What thou?
Even so, I'll think you on it.
How canst thou woo her?
That would I learn of you, as being one best acquainted with her humor.
And wilt thou learn of me?
Madam, with all my heart.
Send to her, by the man that slew her brothers, a pair of bleeding hearts. Thereon engrave Edward and York, then happy will she be. If this inducement move her not to love, send her a letter by any of these. Tell her thou makes the way her uncle Clarence, her uncle rivers, aye, and for her sake makes quick conveyance with her good aunt Anne.
Madam, you love me. This is not the way to make it up.
There is no other way, unless thou put on some other shape, and not be richer like double.
Say I did all this for the love of her. Look, what's done is not my will. Men shall deal likewise sometimes, which after hours gives leisure to repent. If I did take the kingdom from your sons to make amends, I'll give it to your daughter. If I had killed the issue of your womb to quicken your increase, I'll beget mine issue of your blood upon your daughter. The loss you have is but a son being king, and by that loss, your daughter is made queen. I cannot make you what amends I would, therefore accept such kindness as I can. Again shall you be mother to a king, and all the ruins of your stressful time repair, double riches of content. We have many goodly days to see. Those liquid drops of tears that you have shed shall come again, transformed to orient pearl, advantaging their loan with interest 10 times double gain and happiness. Go then, my mother, to thy daughter go. Make bold her bashful years with your experience. Prepare her ears to hear a ruler's tale. Put in her tender heart the aspiring flame of golden song. Acquaint the princess with the sweet, silent hours of marriage joys. When this arm of mine has chastised that petty rebel, dull-brained Buckingham, bound in triumphant garlands will I come and lead thy daughter to a conqueror's bed, where she shall hear my conquests won, and she shall be sole victress, a Caesar's Caesar.
What were I best to say? Her father's brother would be her lord? Or should I say her uncle? Or he that slew her brothers and her uncles? Under what title shall I woo for thee that God, the law, my honor, and her love can make seem pleasing to her tender years?
Say I will love her everlastingly.
But how long shall that title ever last?
Sweetly enforced till her fair life end.
But how long fairly shall her sweet life last?
As long as heaven and nature lengthens it.
As long as Helen Richard likes it.
Say I, her sovereign and her subject now.
But she, your subject, loathes such sovereignty.
Be eloquent in my behalf to her.
An honest tale speeds best being plainly told.
Then plainly to her tell my loving tale.
Plain and not honest is too harsh a style.
Madam, your reasons are too shallow and too quick.
Oh no. My reasons are too deep and dead, too deep and dead, poor infants in their graves.
Harp not on that string, madam, that is past.
Harp on it still shall I, till heartstrings break.
Now, by St. George, my garter and my crown.
Profane, dishonored, and the third usurped.
I swear.
By nothing, for this is no oath. St. George, profaned, hath lost his holy honor. Thy garter, blemished, hath pawned his knightly virtue. Thy crown, usurped, disgraced his kingly glory. If something thou wouldst swear to be believed, swear then by something that thou hast not wronged.
Now, by the world.
'Tis full of thy foul wrongs.
My father's dead.
Thy life hath it disgraced.
And by myself.
Thyself is self-misused.
Fired by God.
God's wrong is most of all. What canst thou swear by now?
The time to come.
That thou hast wronged in the time o'erpast. For I myself had many tears to wash hereafter time, for time past wronged by thee. Swear not by time to come, for that thou hast misused, ere used, by times ill used o'erpast.
As I intend to prosper and repent, so thrive I in my dangerous affairs of hostile arms. Myself confounded, God and fortune bar me happy hours. Day yield me not thy light, nor night thy rest. The opposite, all planets of good luck to my proceeding, if with dear heart's love, immaculate devotion, holy thoughts, I tender not my beauteous, princely daughter. Therefore, my mother, for I must call you son, be attorney of my love to her. Plead what I will be, not what I have been. Not what I deserve, but what I will deserve. Urge the necessity and state of times, and be not peevish found in great designs.
Shall I be tempted by the devil thus?
Aye. If the devil tempt you to do good.
Shall I forget myself to be myself?
Aye, if your self's remembrance wrong yourself.
But thou didst kill my children.
But in your daughter's womb I'll bury them, and in that nest of spicery they shall breed selves of themselves to your recomfiture.
Shall I go with my daughter to thy will?
And be a happy mother like a deed.
Go. Write to me very shortly, and you shall understand from me her mind.
Bear her my true heart's kiss. So farewell. Relenting fool and shallow-changing woman. How now, what news?
Most mighty sovereign, on the western coast rideth a puissant navy. To our shores throng many doubtful, hollow-hearted friends, unarmed and unresolved to beat them back. 'Tis thought that Richmond is their admiral, and there they hull, expecting but the aid of Buckingham to welcome them ashore.
Some light-footed friend posted the Duke of Norfolk. Radcliffe, thyself. Oh, Catesby, where is he?
Here, my liege.
Catesby, fly to the Duke.
I will, my lord, with all convenient haste.
Radcliffe, come hither. Post out to Salisbury. When thou comest thither. Dull, unmindful villain, why stayest thou here and goest not to the Duke?
First, mighty liege, what is your highness's pleasure? What from your grace shall I deliver to him?
Good true Catesby, bid him levy straight the greatest strength and power he can make, and meet us suddenly at Salisbury.
I go.
What may it please you shall I do at Salisbury?
Why, won't you do that before I go?
Your highness told me I should coast before.
My mind has changed. Stanley, what's the news with you?
None good, my liege, to please you with the hearing, nor none so bad may well be reported.
Ho day a riddle. Neither good nor bad. Why needs thou run so many miles around that I may tell the tale the nearest way? Once more, what news?
Richmond is on the seas.
There let him sink, then be the seas on him. Why let him run against? What doth he there?
I know not, my lord, but by guess.
Well, as you guess.